Hello and welcome back, it's the G-Man in the Studio Lab. So yeah, I picked up an MPC One Plus when it came out using my own money, almost 2 years ago. And now the beta has gone fully public for a few weeks now. I'm talking about the Akai MPC version 3.4 OS. Some of you may be wondering if you should upgrade. How are the new features? Are my experiences similar to yours? Am I going to stick with the new OS or go back to version 2? Akai hasn't sponsored this video in any way, just my honest opinions and experiences on the MPC One Plus. If you're using other hardware, you may have similar or different experiences. First, a little quick backstory. My main DAW for many years has been Cubase. The MPC One is so powerful even in version 2. MIDI tracks to interface with my synthesizers, sampling, slicing, drum tracks, effects plugins, and entire song arrangements. Wasn't looking to get into synth plugins much, but started using their Odyssey plugin and found it very convenient, and really nice sounding at that. There are things missing from my Arturia Keystep Pro which I enjoy very much for working out ideas with hardware, but was wanting something more of an integrated audio recording solution. The MPC performed well and didn't run into any major bugs, but I was wrestling with the song arrangement conundrum. You know, did I want to build an entire song within one sequence, or did I want to chain multiple sequences together? Both approaches have their pros and cons, of which is a subject I won't be going into during this video, but I ended up adapting the single sequence approach. Now let's get into version 3 and see what's up. Why did I try the upgrade? After messing around with version 2, the GUI navigation was still clunky to me, always having to go through the main page, set the track to the one I want to edit, and then being able to access the grid edit arranger. So I wanted to see if version 3 was any smoother in that regard. Version 3.4 files are not backward compatible. So, if you do upgrade, be sure to save copies of your files somewhere. The final deciding factor was, ultimately, the fact that you can reinstall operating system version 2 if it all didn't work out. I say that being fully aware that the MPC software for PC is still currently on version 2.15 as of making this video. So let's see if version 3.4 is worth it. Let's check out the overhaul of the main page. It's a bit simplified now. There are 2 sections instead of 3, sequence and track tabs. Prior to this, there were 3 tiers, sequence, track, and program. So the workflow was simpler having a track and its program integrated as one. The visual feedback on the main page is really helpful. If there's a drum track, each pad strike shows the sample in real time. Same thing with audio tracks. Expanding the side tabs, you can see 4 possible track effects. Level, track sends, and input-output routing are there also. Very handy. You can add track effects here, but not remove them or rearrange the order here. To remove a track effect, you will need to go to the effect and use the trash can icon. You can also see the same stuff with regard to the main outputs. Okay, so far so good. Yes, I'm happy to report the arranger window is smoother navigation. It really looks and feels like the Cubase DAW I'm familiar. No surprise, you can see the actual track events are so small here, but no worries. It's simple to select a track from there and jump to its grid arranger. A big plus to production workflow. There's a pull-up window in the arranger for the selected track as well. This one is a bit more fickle and takes patience to get it to deploy and collapse properly. It's a bit cramped and hard to zoom and select specific events here, so I probably will be using the grid viewer to do my actual edits. There's also a loop bar as well. I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't always cooperate. Setting the looper start endpoints and sliding it around isn't always responsive. Setting the playhead position is a chore as well. All of this is a result of the snap for the arranger having to follow the overall timing correction settings. Say what? Yes, this is the same quantization settings for recording and editing individual trigger and note events in grid mode. Don't know about you, but I'm not going to be changing the timing correction settings every time I want to bounce between the arranger and grid windows. As a result, changing the playhead position rarely lands on the bar I want, until I zoom into the area of interest. so the arranger desperately needs its own snap settings. Hopefully this kind of thing will be added to a future update. The arranger edit settings we do have are fantastic. Using copy, insert, and length functions we all know. This enables you to start out with a simple 2 or 4 bar sequence and incrementally build them out to more bars organically. However, it doesn't always go that smooth. Sometimes the copied events do not land where you want them. Using the undo and trying again verbatim always got me the result I wanted though. Also, in grid mode, the copy-paste functions were sometimes off as well. Again, undo and retry gets the results I wanted. Also been using locators in the arrangement, also known as markers in other DAWs. Jumping to a locator will also set the loop points for you. Sometimes I want that, other times not so much. You're only limited to having 6 locators though, and I'm not sure why. I found myself wanting for a few more. Please, Akai, up that to 10 locators, please. Lastly, when the loop is turned on, audio track types will only play the first time around. On the next iteration, audio files will drop out. Since I'm only using loop functions during edit and not the final playback, it's not a big deal breaker for me. MPC version 3.4 operating system. Akai was already onto something here in version 2. Powerful production DAW tools and workflow in hardware. Version 3 offers streamlined graphical and workflow improvements. Some new features. Version 3 works even better now for my chosen method, that is, of building out the entire track within a single sequence. But as with most overhauled codes comes new bugs and things to sort out. In case you were wondering, I did try to load version 3.4 project on my PC version of the MPC software, and it just says error loading file. No surprise. Hopefully it won't be long before desktop software will support the new hardware project files. For me, the minor bugs I've encountered were not terrible or catastrophic, mostly bugs in editing and navigation, no system crashes or mangled project files to speak of, with exception to the looped audio dropouts mentioned earlier. As far as I'm concerned, I'm still enjoying the version 3.4. I would rather build out my projects on PC using a big old monitor display and then transfer them to my hardware for final tweaks and edits. Until the PC upgrade is available, I'll just do things in the version 3 hardware for now. Putting together some simple tracks, discovering features, otherwise vibing with the workflow. I'm really excited about what Akai has accomplished and looking forward to the future hardware updates to alleviate the minor nuisances I've experienced. Would rather see updates and fixes come sooner rather than later, but we'll see. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.